back to the couch, and I see. I know you're a Seahawks fan.
Yes, sir.
How do you see the coming season going? Are you happy with the coach? Free agency pickups, the draft, and are you just being a homer liking the Seahawks, or are you just is that you just dedicated to it like that?
There's some history to that.
That's why I'm asking, and that's why I'm asking. You gotta get him on the couch and
the shade.
Yeah, you gotta get him on the couch and throw something at him.
You know all this.
Yeah.
I'm originally from Houston.
Okay. I
was an Oilers.
Forgot that, by the way. Yeah.
But I was an Oilers fan.
Okay.
So I was an Oilers fan. They take the Oilers. They move to Tennessee.
Okay.
I'm not in Tennessee. The same thing with the OKC thing.
I got it.
So this is my character, you know.
Okay. I got it.
Yeah. You don't fuck with me no more.
Yeah, I got it. I got it.
So I move here. I get here. I embrace them. The good, the bad, the ugly. Mostly bad and ugly. You know what I'm saying? I'm there.
Okay.
We get to a Super Bowl. I'm here.
So
I have arrived. This is my
so
team.
I do got to ask you this. And this happens with a lot of Seahawks fans, and I just have to say it so we can, because we're going to be 100 here.
Mm-hmm.
The play. Because you guys have been the same since the play. I'm just saying, when you talk to Seahawks fans, they still discuss the play like it was last year's Super Bowl.
So we just gonna bypass the other questions, huh?
No, we're gonna go back to the other question. But it just came to my mind because you'll get me too. I know what's coming. I know it's coming. Okay. But I had to get you because it was on my mind. I go, let's discuss the play real quick.
I mean, you got Marshawn Lynch in the game.
Okay.
He's getting at least like...
He's balling though,
He's getting like 3 yards after contact.
He's
that
balling.
Made every play. He got you there. You got downs. You got a timeout. The world, everybody know, and I get your so-called philosophy of the...
Right.
The switching it up, but did you really switch it up? Because...
now what's your theory?
Or did your quarterback switch it up because he wanted to be the MVP, right? He wanted his shining moment.
You think he had that kind of cachet to make that call? At that point in his career?
I think with the quarterback situation, I don't think he should have made it. But, I mean, Roethlisberger did that shit all the time.
I think
and as a quarterback, as a coach.
Pete did that.
Nah, I think Russell did
that's
that.
That's a unique perspective.
At first, I was like, yeah, Pete Gamble.
Right.
First year or so, I was thinking, yeah, Pete Gamble's a lot. You know what I'm saying? He probably would do that. But the play didn't make sense.
Not one bit.
The play don't make sense at all.
I actually think New England was giving Seattle the touchdown on a run so they can come back and try to win it with whatever seconds left. You know what I'm saying? Once that play happens, we want the ball, so I'll give you this touchdown because they didn't blitz or any of that. So it's like,
I'm going to say, if you look from the sideline, your team know what's happening a lot of times.
Yeah, of course.
They may not be in the huddle, but did you see Sherman like, what? What just happened?
Right. Everybody was shocked. Everybody was shocked.
Was that the play? Was that really the play? Did we call that?
Right.
You really can't see over the line, like, no shade, but you really can't see over the line. That's been one of his struggles a lot of times, right? He's great with the moon ball, but right in the middle,
the dark,
to the tight end, the tight end has never been his strength. Right. And you're throwing it inside. He's always an outside guy most of the time, right?
Yes.
So I'm just like, inside you're throwing low. You got motherfucker that's like damn near 6 foot something, the 5'7", 5'9" dude. You put it in his hands. You didn't put it in his spot.
That broke up the team. That play.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. There was how could it not? But I mean, there was a lot of tension prior to that.
Okay.
There was a lot of tension with how some things was being managed.
Right.
In the locker room.
I agree.
And so that was just like the straw that broke the camel's back. So you had that, and as an athlete, you don't get to a Super Bowl. You don't get to NBA Finals.
It takes a lot.
Often.
It takes a lot.
You just won. You back to back. Everything's on the line with this. You got something that's already supposed to go.
I think it killed the dynasty.
Yeah, you get to go, and one person decides they're gonna do what they want, and you cost me my shit.
I didn't know. I haven't heard a lot of people blaming Russ.
Yeah.
A lot of people animosity went straight to Pete, because I question whether Russ actually had that type of cachet to make that call. I mean, this is a very young quarterback who you have pretty much protected with a running game the whole time. Like, they rarely was taking letting him just be Russ, only in crucial times where they're doing it. And so I'm like, you get down here, I've been blaming Pete all these years. Myself, I've been blaming.
Well, it was easy to do. He took it on him. Like,
so that's basically a
claimed
rookie young player mistake.
He claimed all of that. Pete was like, "That's my call, this and that," and that was the narrative that was out there.
Right. So Pete took the hit for something that you feel like Pete took.
I feel that Pete took the hit. I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? Russ had some amazing years. He was doing his thing. He probably he was confident. Obviously, he was confident he can get it done.
Of course.
Right? And he was gonna try to do it with his arm. But that play was there for the taking, and I just feel like Pete is loyal to a fault.
Okay.
That's been the thing that kind of was also the thing. He's loyal to a fault. If he fuck with you, he fuck with you.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Some of our defensive coordinators. If he fuck with you, he fuck with you.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
They should have been fired, but he
That's
rolled with them.
That's true.
So I can see him
ride with you.
So that's my point, is he was riding with Russell even through that part.
Okay. That's fair. What about the current Seahawks? I just had to get that little part out to kind of throw you a curveball.
So what's crazy is
playoffs?
Yes.
You hear that? Playoffs?
Yes.
Playoffs? I just wanted to know.
Did y'all make the playoffs last year?
Absolutely not. I already did a podcast about that.
He talking about playoffs. Like,
I just wanted to know.
Like,
I just wanted to know.
We're not gonna go there.
No. We can go. Because you're sensing the shots I'm firing, and you're like, ew. Yeah. I didn't know you were gonna fire these shots.
But it's cool. But I would say this also. When we got rid of Pete, I was low key telling everybody in my gym, man, we need to get this dude McDonald.
Oh, okay.
Right, we need to get this dude McDonald.
Right.
So I don't think nobody was more excited than I was when we got him.
Okay.
The dude, I think he's brilliant. I think, you know what I'm saying? On record, I think he's brilliant. I think he's a great, because defense wins championships.
Yeah.
He will put you a motherfucking defense together like no other. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
He did it for the Wolverines. He did it for the Ravens. And I mean, even last year, first year around, I think the defense wound up holding people like 17 points a game.
Yeah, and you gotta, with new coaches, you gotta let them get their players in.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that first year, you're kind of stuck with Pete's remnants, and you kind of got to look at it like, okay, do I release this guy? They don't fit my scheme, this, that, and the other. But you got to play the season, because if you release everybody, hell, you ain't got no team. Yeah. So I think he's starting to put together. Yeah. I think he had a very good draft. I like him. I like where they're headed.
So,
but I don't.
But
you
know what?
Metcalf.
We're gonna agree to disagree. So.
Oh, this is big.
We're gonna agree to disagree. Metcalf, he's a unicorn in the sense he fast, he's strong, he tall, he got vert. Right? But I'm ultimately, let's go back to the first stuff. We can come back to that.
Okay.
We can come back to that, because I feel like we keep going and I don't get
no
the
problem.
answer.
No problem. No problem. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But back to McDonald. I think McDonald's good. The draft was 2 years in a row. Love the drafts.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah.
I like some of the post-draft moves.
Okay.
I like the coach hirings for sure.
Okay.
I think Kubiak was a great dude to get, right?
All right.
Grew up, obviously wasn't ready. I would have liked to keep Geno.
Dude, that's where I was going.
Yeah, I would have liked to keep Geno.
That's where I was going.
A lot of people are on the Sam Darnold thing, and he had an amazing year. I'm going to give him that. He didn't finish strong, and that left the question mark. Because, I mean, it's 1 year.
Yeah.
It's
Geno's more proven.
Yeah, it's
that
1
for
year.
Sure.
Geno has done his thing, and even last year, you could say they, outside of the three, I'm going to run my own route, despise what we talked about, Metcalf plays.
Okay. Okay, got it.
They had the same amount of interceptions.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. All right. Okay.
You got one of the two top best receivers on that team and the third most time to throw the ball in Minnesota. That's proven. We still trying to figure out what we got right now. But even with that, and only been stuck in shotgun, which is probably the worst position for Geno.
Okay. He needs a running game.
He still made things happen.
Yeah.
When you gave him time at the line and you gave him play action plays, which is what Kubiak specializes in, a lot of play action. Hell, half the league do.
Right.
He thrives well in that. The same stuff that Sam Darnold did, he'll thrive well in that.
Okay.
So I just feel like Sam Darnold could be good. I just wish we had Geno.
So, no Geno, no DK, and you looked me in my eye and told me playoffs.
Yeah. And no Lockett. I wish we would have kept Lockett.
And no Lockett.
Yeah.
I wish Dallas would have grabbed Lockett, by the way.
So, no Lockett and no, I'm still bitter about this one. Okay. No Bobby Wagner. Right.
Why?
We cut him twice.
I'm just asking, like
you cut him twice. You didn't bring him back the first time for whatever.
Right. I get it.
He got fired on his day off.
Yeah.
That
was kind of, yeah.
The word is they didn't even tell you.
Yeah.
So I mean, the man has never really been injured his career.
Right.
He was a Pro Bowler. I get the reason why you cut him.
Age.
No, it wasn't the age the first time. He had a $17 million contract.
It was money.
The league was restructuring linebackers and all that stuff. So, for whatever reason, you're like, I can't pay you that. We're strapped, right? We may feel some people else we got to pay instead of you. You cut him. You don't bring him back. He goes to the Rams for $10 million.
Yes.
Still a Pro Bowler. What does the age matter? He's not. He's
a Hall of Famer.
His game hasn't gotten old, right?
So he doesn't cover.
I'm glad you said that.
I'm glad because he's a Hall of Famer.
That's what everybody says.
Best linebacker in his era type guy.
He's not a great cover guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that might be the case.
At this point in his career, though, is what I'm stating.
A Pro Bowler.
Oh, fine.
And still healthy all the time.
He lives in Hawaii.
He's healthy. He's great leadership. These are qualities that you can't get in everybody. I don't care how good you are, how much of a unicorn you are. Are you a leader?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
So
he's a Super Bowl champion, which we don't have on our team anymore.
I'm bitter.
So we don't have the
experience. I don't want him in the NFC East. Yeah. So please take him back.
Yeah. So I'm like, but he's a Pro Bowler and he drops $10 million to come back here for $4 million.
Yeah.
Right? Because he wants to retire. He's already expressed
of course.
He wants to retire here. He's literally a Pro Bowler for you again. And you cut him again. And he's a Pro Bowler the year after.
I'm trying to figure out how this playoff thing is working for you.
Okay. I did all of that to say.
Oh, okay.
I did all this to say this. Defense wins championships. Yes. We got a hell of a defense. So we had a nice defense before the drafts and before the pickups. Even that Cowboy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, I just had to do that. I had to send that shot. But
you gonna talk about my Cowboys? You gonna talk?
Yeah.
You gonna bring me out? You gonna bring me out?
So, anyways, we got a great defense. One, we got a great offensive coordinator. I really think Kubiak is a great coordinator.
Okay.
We got a good lines coach.
Okay.
Who basically he improved all the linemen that he worked with the year before.
Okay.
And the story is coming out is that we have the right guys. We just didn't have the right coaches. It didn't.
Okay.
It looked like that because we only
That's
really
fair.
played for
That's fair.
shotgun.
That's fair.
So now we
That's
got to
fair.
play action, and you're building around that. I like the boy Gray's able, which gives us some strength. We finally got Cross and Lucas healthy,
Okay.
so that
Okay.
added some strength. And I like the way the line was starting to build at the end of the year. So
Okay.
that was our biggest weakness.
Dexter
so we're building,
Lawrence. No. Who is that?
It's Lawrence, yeah.
Lawrence?
Yeah.
And who's the guy from the Giants?
You talking about from 2 years ago? You talking about Big Cat?
He's your defensive tackle. He stops the run.
You're talking about Big Cat, Leonard Williams.
Yeah, Williams. That's
That
what I
was
mean.
it,
That's what I
yeah.
meant. Yeah.
Yeah.
He now that was major. That was major. I'll give you guys that. I'll give you guys
Ernest
that.
Brown.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a beast.
So your defense is going to carry you.
Yeah. Our offense is a lot better now. Like I said, I think our line
Because of the line.
Well,
Okay.
the line was the biggest problem,
Okay.
right?
Okay. Yes.
The
Yes,
game is
thank you.
won and lost at the line.
Correct.
You
Correct.
can't show me a championship NFL team that did not have a great line.
Yeah, that's what Philly dominated to actually win the championship.
Yeah.
They dominated the line of scrimmage on both sides,
Yeah.
and they put it into KC.
Period.
So, yes.
So now we have a better line. We have better coaches. We lost Tyler, but as long as Cup stays healthy, they're literally the identical player. We got a triple crown winner. All right?
You are. And he's local.
Yeah, he local.
So,
Yakima.
yeah,
Shouts
yeah.
out to Yakima.
Yeah.
So that's an exchange. And if you'd have had him, Jackson Smith, and Jigba, and Tyler, it's almost feel like having three of the same player.
So you think Jigba's ready to number one to take that spot?
I don't know, but we're gonna find out. I think
Okay.
he has the upside. His year got better.
I think he's the number one. I think he's a clear
should
number
be,
one.
He should be comfortable for that.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to be number one right now. You might get some leadership from Cooper. He's gonna have to be number one,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But I also like the pickups we got as far as receivers too, right?
Okay,
You know what I'm
okay.
saying? So we got that. I like the tight end. We got tight end play.
I think Donald's going to need a massive running game for the success of. Now, don't mind you, I feel the same way about Dallas. Dallas needs a running game because I don't think Dak's good like that. I think
okay.
to bring out the best in Sam Darnold.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about Sam Darnold, right?
Yeah. We talking about Sam Darnold. He definitely needs a run game. You're gonna
Okay.
need that. But that you said that like that's a problem for us. The problem was the line.
No,
It's
I'm
not the
saying
running
to you
backs,
like
yeah.
that's a running game will actually, in my opinion, get you to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And that's what
But we got K9.
when he's healthy, yes.
When you have a line, you don't get hurt. So
This conversation is going to start and stop with the line. I got it.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's fair.
So we got
Very
K9.
fair. Very fair.
We got Charbonnet.
Okay.
And then we just drafted the boy was from I think Alabama or no not Alabama from Georgia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Alabama's the quarterback. Now you do.
No,
Realize-
I like him too, and he can run. But
I actually think if this coach had any kahunas, I think dude's gonna beat out Sam Darnold.
that's kind of the consensus.
I was shocked. I was shocked that Seattle got him, knowing that they had Sam Darnold. But I was really like, Seattle's gonna really like this dude.
This was the Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson play. I go draft me a quarterback. I secure me a quarterback.
Yeah.
I draft me a quarterback.
Yeah. I just thought
because he's leg work. Like he gives you the Jalen Hurts effect with his like.
Yes.
He's a big bulky
Yes.
quarterback
Yes.
that can run through somebody.
Yeah, I think in today's NFL, I think he will. I think he passes better than he gets credit for.
True.
And in NFL, you have better, quote unquote, athletes, superior athletes, and so you start throwing to Njigba, Cup, and these kind of boys. Hey man, and with the threat of the run,
Yeah.
I don't think. I just don't feel like Sam Darnold. Now, if you were to start off saying, if he's the quarterback, because I actually believe he can take you out to the playoffs. I just think there's too much I can't roll with Sam Darnold.
They've
the
already
playoffs.
went on record since saying that they're going to try to get him involved in every game. They're
Yeah.
saying they're limiting his production.
Yeah, like starter.
Yeah,
I'm telling you right now.
They said they're limiting
Yeah.
his production, but he's
Yeah.
going to get in every game, and they're going to run packages
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? So that
Yeah.
tells me you want to see him play sooner than later.
Yeah. So
And McDonald's is one of the reasons I like him because he got balls.
I don't have a problem with Sam Darnold. I have a problem with Sam Darnold going to the playoffs.
I said McDonald, not Sam Darnold.
Oh, okay. Okay, there we go. Whew.
So I didn't realize that's when I thought you was talking about the coach that had no balls, and I'm like,
No, yeah. I am talking about the coach. I'm saying when I say that, I'm saying, does the coach have? Because I forget the player that was he played for Green Bay, the quarterback, and Seattle got him in free agency, and they drafted Russell
Matt
Wilson.
Flynn.
Okay.
And then they went and got him.
Does he
They
have
drafted,
the Pete Carroll in him? Because Pete said
he definitely has that.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know
He
because
definitely has that.
I think if they were giving an equal opportunity to win the starting quarterback job, I got my money on Milroe. I think the team will too.
Yeah.
I think the team.
So-
if
so-
you would have said that, I would have rolled with the playoffs. But you
Well,
see, I'm struggling.
But I still said it. I never said Sam Darnold's name at all.
No,
I still haven't until just now.
okay.
Right. So
you know.
yeah. So I like if you can stop a team. I feel like if you can keep a team generally to 15 points a game,
Yeah.
you should win a game.
I agree.
Right?
Now that we do have an agreement.
Yeah, because you should be able. Your offense, the ideology is if you can score 24 points in a game, you should better win. If you can keep a team down to 15 points, you should win.
Yeah.
Because the differential, you're up.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, I agree. I definitely
I
agree.
think we have the weapons that we can get that if they're again, long as we have protection.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
K9 is a beast. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? What's name is a beast. Kubiak's offense, the plays you seen what the Saints looked like when they was healthy. The first couple games, they was putting up 45 some points a game. He was the OC there last year. We said before, when they was healthy. When
They did blow out Dallas. I actually got to give you.
Oh, that's the
I
part
actually, I'm like, are we going? Well, you said, are we going with the Saints? And then I go, oh, that's right, that's who he is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just
So
giving
I'm
you
like,
history of the OC.
yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
When they were healthy,
Yeah.
the Saints.
Yeah.
Okay, all right,
Yeah, they had a terrible year.
all right. They
And
did beat
and
me
they-
though. That's
I was
what's
saying,
up.
and they blew y'all out.
Blew us out.
What a terrible year.
Blew- See, he's trying to fire back. He's trying to fire back.
And on their behalf, they was missing a starting quarterback and then number one and two top receivers. But that was after you
Topic
guys.
change.
That was after you guys.
See, this is when it's your show, you can actually change the topic.
Yeah, okay.
No, we're gonna stick with it. We're gonna stick with it.
Okay.
We're gonna stick with it. It was a good. I think that's pretty bold to say playoffs, but you know what? I'm going roll with it because I do know a lot of people do feel that way. I'll roll with you on it.
Yeah.
But you know we're gonna tap in through the season though.
The first couple games might be rough. It's still gonna be some gelling and some new people. No, hold on,
It comes.
easy,
Here it
Tiger.
comes.
Easy. But we have winnable games.
I seen the schedule.
Like I'm
I seen
looking.
the schedule.
I'm looking. The Niners don't have Debo no more.
They got a lot.
They got
They got a lot to work through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they got rid of like 11 starters. They got a couple nice little pieces in between, but it was mainly about re-signing people.
I think the Rams are the class of that division.
Yeah. Right now, the Rams are the biggest threat.
So you're saying a wild card.
I'm saying playoffs. I'm gonna leave it there. Wild card.
There's only
Wild
two
card
ways
is
to get
playoffs.
in.
Huh?
There's only two ways to get in: division winner or wild card. I'm trying to figure it out.
I'm saying we're gonna make it. I'm not putting us in one at a bare minimum. Yeah, wild card at a bare minimum. I think we have a winnable enough. All we need is about 6 games in there.
Okay.
Right, and I think
6.
I'm just saying
Okay, got it.
for the jail.
I get it.
For everybody to kind
I
of
know.
have the chemistry during the game.
The second half
I'm
of the
not
season.
saying. I'm not saying we losing or none of that. I'm
trying
saying.
to do-
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
You're doing this.
Yeah, I'm saying we're gonna get better as we go.
Okay. And
So
you
the game,
should. And you
the
should.
games may not be as efficient. There'll still be some wins. They just won't be as efficient.
So you were not going to let me corner you. Because I'm trying to corner you and give me division winner, or playoff, or wild card. And you just said we just going to be in the playoffs, period.
Yeah.
See that?
Yeah, we're going to be in the playoffs.
He's on the record. It's a very oval. It's a very oval record, but he did get on the record. Did you not want me to go there, or I might go get a bad text from you? I might go get a bad text because I did give you, just so everybody knows, I gave him a little bit of leeway on a few of the topics.
What about y'all?
Oh yeah, no, we're back in.
The playoffs?
We're back in the playoffs. We're back in the playoffs. Oh yeah, we're back in the playoffs.
So you think 3 teams from your division might go? You think
wild card?
Wild card?
Yeah, for starters, we have not had back-to-back division winners in probably over a decade. Mm-hmm. It's either been Dallas, Philly, the Giants get to throw them in there, and so I don't believe Philly is going to win the division. Mm-hmm. I think Dallas is. Man, we're possibly even third in our division.
Possibly.
Yeah, that's just coming from a Cowboy fan. This is how it goes. So I will say
on
this.
Record.
Yeah, on record. And the question is, how does the first-year head coach? I love the draft. He did exactly what you said, but he actually stuck to it. He built up our line on both sides. I like the trade for Pickens. I like the running back that we got out of Texas. So we have weapons. And then that brings us to Dak Prescott leading us. So it's not like we got a rookie quarterback leading us.
I like your backup too. Milton.
I'm curious about him.
I'm
curious about him a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of talk about him.
He was hurt during the draft when he fell back. But nah, he was good. He only got one game and got to show everybody, and he had a phenomenal game, right? When Geno first left, I actually low key was hoping we snatched him up. And then when I saw what y'all got him for,
yeah,
I'm like, shit, they just gave him to you.
Yeah, we'll take that.
Yeah.
We'll take that. We'll take that.
I do like that.
Yeah, and so now my problem with Dallas is I don't think we're going to start the season that well. Only because we still have guys that had significant injuries. Mm-hmm. And so they may not be back and ready. So I would say probably about week 6 we should start getting everybody back. So if we can hang in there first couple weeks, then I think we'll be ready to fire on all cylinders. Our divisional players,
Commanders didn't get weaker.
No, that's why I said we're possibly third.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, you got the Super Bowl champs. I mean,
they didn't lose no line play. So I'm just kind of looking, and the George Pickens thing is interesting. We're gonna see how that works.
Well, everybody's saying all the right things now.
Yeah.
Because they ain't got to share football now.
It might be a humbling experience because you're not where you were drafted at. You're not feeling comfortable, and you're not the number one guy right now. Knowingly that.
But see, that is actually, to me, the beauty of picking up Pickens is because he's not going to a place to where it's a question.
Yeah.
Like, we know, you already know who the dog is. He wear 88.
But that's my point. Let's see. We're going to see how that really works.
The question is, will Dak get him the ball the right way, on time? Because he's going to be one-on-one a lot. Yeah. As long as 88 is healthy, he's going to be one-on-one a lot. And I don't want to just use him. I don't want Dallas to just use him as a deep threat. Mm-hmm. Because that's like 4 or 5 balls a game, and you ain't gonna keep Pickens happy with 4 or 5 balls a game. That's not gonna work. So as long as he learns the route tree, I think he'll be just fine. But Dallas is a team that needs a running game in the worst way for Dak to be successful. Mm-hmm. Just because you pay a quarterback the money doesn't mean his skill set is to throw the ball 45 times. You pay the man the money because he is.
Y'all paid that man.
Yes, we did. Why not?
Look,
the market said so. When you're late on the market, okay, which Dallas is always late.
I'm not gonna speak on that man's money. He a brother. I'm glad you got your bag, bro. Nothing else, you can be rich too. But
I'm a fan because if you're gonna be late to the party, which Dallas is always late on signing people,
yeah,
then they sat back and let Lawrence get his money out in
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville.
Mhm.
That was what you should have not seen right there, because Dak better than him. So if he get, just for example, I'm not sure of his bag, but if he gets 56, what you think Dak gonna ask for?
He got 55.
He got 55. What Dak going? What do you think Dak's gonna ask for? That's the problem. You should have paid this man before people that aren't better than you got their bag, and they didn't do that. You want to wait. So the same thing about to happen to Michael Parsons. Exact same thing about to happen to Michael Parsons.
Yeah.
So,
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I was leading to.
Yeah.
So you pay top dollar, and again, now mind you, he's $5 million more than any other quarterback. Not $1 million more. He's $5 million more.
Yeah.
You're about to pay Michael Parsons, and you're gonna try to beat Myles Garrett's contract. So that's gonna be
that one surprised us. Because
But you had
I was
time
like,
to get rid of it.
I was like, oh
you
no,
late
why
to
did he
party.
get this money? Why did?
So if he gets that, that's $100 million between two players,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Then CD got what, 34, 33,
Yeah.
something like that?
CD got his bag. Yeah.
So 134 with just three players right there.
Well, what you're gonna end up doing is you're gonna have to live in the draft coming in the next.
I'm
next
so
future.
happy you said that.
Yeah, you're going to have to, because if you're paying people.
So even when
Yeah.
like you only had one first round pick though, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
we got
that's-
rid of it for the 49er quarterback. I think we got rid of something drastic when we got him. And
I'm saying y'all had one this year though, right?
Yeah,
Y'all didn't
yeah.
give it up.
We got the offensive lineman.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you guys were top 10.
12. Close enough to the top 10.
So that salary still it's kind of a nice salary for that kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it blew my mind about that too. I found out the boy Ashanti Genty is the second highest paid running back this year. He's the rookie.
Hey man, if you got a good agent.
I understand. I was like,
if you got a good agent.
I watch sports, but I really didn't. I didn't really, like I said, I don't be checking for people back like that. If it's on the news, it's on the news. But
Right.
when I seen that statistic, I'm like, that must be nice to be the second highest paid running back. And I ain't
Not even,
yet.
not even proving yourself yet in the
That must
NFL.
be nice.
I-
Shout out to you, brother. Get your bag.
Get your bag.
Get
I
your
did not
bag.
know you were the second highest. Hey, get your bag. Saquon got his bag.
Yeah.
He's got his bag. I have no problem with you getting, especially the running back position.
Yeah.
So I have no problem with that. But yeah, we're going to playoffs.
But I'm glad they gave him the resurgence too. Thanks out to Saquon, man. Yeah, they should have let him break that record.
I agree.
They should have let him break that record.
I'm glad they won the Super Bowl though, because if they had not, then you're gonna go back to that. Like, why did you make the man break the record? But they did win the Super Bowl.
Just think, it's not guaranteed he can do that again now.
Now let me make sure I say this real fast before we get in that. I ain't happy Philly won the Super Bowl. I'm happy Saquon won the Super Bowl. He just happened to be in Philly. I just want to get that on the record.
If that's what you want to tell him, it's okay.
I just did. He trying to get me back. He trying to get me back.
I'm just saying.
He trying to get me back.
I'm just saying.
Hey, people in your
But
division,
really though, he
yeah.
could have pretty much had a triple crown right there in his own right. He
Yeah.
would have broke the regular season record.
Right.
He would have broke the postseason record in rushing.
Yeah.
Then I think I'm not even sure if there was another person, but the first person to have both of those and be the Super Bowl and could have been the Super Bowl MVP.
Well, they shut that down.
I said could have.
Yeah.
Could have been.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, well, Jalen Hurts shut that down. He had a hell of a game too.
He had a hell of a game.
Yeah, he had a hell of a
game. He showed up.
Yeah, he had a hell of a game.
He showed up.
Yeah, he had that. So he earned.
Shout out to
that.
KC, Super Bowl champs. Oh, excuse me.
Whoa.
Excuse me. That's only because I didn't want to give Philly. I didn't want to give it to Philly. So my hate just came out. My hate just came out. Shout out to the Eagles fans, man. You guys got one. I'll give you that. So I'm going to take a quick break. We'll be right back at it. Couch Culture.